Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Carroll Worldwide, your semi-frequent podcast on local current events and satire, right?
That's correct.
That's what our tagline is.
We're aiming for.
That's what we're aiming for. Well, maybe we'll get together a little more frequently. We keep saying that every time. But I think we were really going to do it now.
Everybody's boring.
Spring has sprung. Spring has sprung. We got a few weeks of material to cover, so we really gleaned the best of the best out of here. And this is an oldie but goodie. There's a trash conflict between rival Italian restaurants. This is not a Sopranos garbage pickup issue. This is a Italian restaurant rubbish issue.
Yeah, this is what would happen if there were gang wars in Carroll County, if the mafia were here. So
You're naive.
Italian restaurant brought their branded truck to another Italian restaurant and tried to sneak throwing their garbage in this other Italian restaurant's dumpster. And they didn't even put it in the dumpster. They put it like next to the dumpster or behind it or something, according to the video, because this particular restaurant,
Yeah.
it was the victim.
They kind of exactly in the same spot. Like
They're neighbors.
one is there and one is there.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot there's the carry out there.
Yeah. So it wasn't really a stretch. They probably could have just walked it over and not even brought the truck.
But they did bring the truck.
But they brought the truck, yeah.
Maybe it had some bodies in it.
But the funny thing is, the victim restaurant, they had it all on camera, so they took the bags and took them back over to the other establishment and dropped them off.
I've done that.
You have done that. You talked about that.
I have done that, yes.
What's interesting, you don't get charged like per pound of trash, but you just have to have
No.
there's sometimes when I assume that's busy and there's not a lot of space in the trash can, so it could be an issue for that reason. But then I just can't imagine a business here not having their own contract to pick up their trash.
Well, so here's the thing. Residential trash in Westminster city limits is picked up for free. Mm-hmm. But if you have a commercial property, you pay a certain amount of money per month to have your trash disposed of.
Right.
And it's not, for restaurants in particular, it's not necessarily just a pittance.
No, I wouldn't say it is.
So I feel like the restaurant that had their dumpster used illegally by the other restaurant has every right to be upset.
Oh, yeah.
Because you need that. You need the room in that dumpster for your own trash.
Oh, it's not a community trash heap. I don't think anyone says that. But I'm just confused as to why does the other business not have a way to dispose of its trash? Like, it just seems like you can't operate without that. And you
can't. You can have a health department license,
right? So you have
without one. So I'm not sure what's going on.
What's your
answer? I know. 3 words: act of aggression.
Or maybe it's microaggression.
I'm gonna go with the disposing of body parts, Dennis. I
like that one
I like
too.
that idea. I think they were just trying to get rid of some things that they didn't want people to know were supposed to be in their trash.
The real answer probably is that they have an underscaled trash bin dumpster, and it's probably overflowing. Right? That's like the obvious thing.
Good for them. I'm glad they're doing such a bang up business.
I don't know, or they're just cheap with their dumpster. They have a residential sized dumpster and they need bigger.
Yeah.
If only this happened in Taneytown. Pieces would fit together better.
Taneytown. Tony.
Well, that's not the only thing that happened in Taneytown.
No?
Yeah. You told me there was some fireworks up there. Taneytown Top Shot.
Some guy got arrested for discharging his weapon, his pistol, in front of somebody's house in a residential area.
Wow.
It's in the Carroll County Times. A lot of shooting going on up there.
Fire story, but that's not the Top Shot I'm really interested in.
What?
I'm bringing new news from the world of internet meets finance.
Breaking news.
It's not breaking. It's
Oh.
building up. So from the same great minds.
Dennis is always on the cutting edge, isn't he?
That's why you have a millennial here.
It's a good thing we have this youthful energy in our room.
So it's Randy, you're the tech guy, so this is more putting you on the spot. Do you know what an NFT is?
I did.
It's a non-fungible token.
He didn't read the whole thing.
He didn't read anything. I told him not to.
Oh, okay. Like Bitcoin or something.
Yeah, so non-fungible tokens. So they've taken blockchain and non-fungible tokens, and they've tied them to essentially Harry Potter sports cards, which is you now have cards that are actual gifts that are non-fungible that you can now trade of NBA players. So it's like an online sports card trading thing. But the market cap of the whole venture is now over like $1 billion.
So what are these cards worth?
$250,000, some of them.
Each?
Yes, not all of them.
And measured in dollars or in Bitcoin?
Dollars.
But they're just virtual cards. You can't ever hold them in your hand and look at them. And
No.
Put
Nope.
them on your bike spokes.
Nope.
What?
Yeah, so I got wind of this thing, and I signed up to get their pack drops. You have to like sign up and then get a lottery number to get in. So I bought one for $15, and the cards in it were immediately worth $300. So I sold them, and I bought more, and I'm in on the speculation.
But it's like Bitcoin, where there's a limited amount of these cards.
Yes, each card has a limited run. There's like only 10,000 of the card, period.
Right, and they're protected by a hash that is protected by the blockchain.
Right.
That can't be hacked.
Correct.
But they're actual NBA players. Like they
It's like-
represent.
How do you look at them?
I can. Well, I won't make for good radio, but I can show you on my phone.
Okay, so there's an image.
It's a GIF. It's a whole video. It's like, here's the highlight. It's like the player dunking from one angle, dunking from another angle, and it's like the timestamp and then the game and all this
so
stuff.
they are like Harry Potter cards because they move.
They move, right? That's the Harry Potter part.
Oh.
Yeah, but they're so like, it's wild. It's like it makes GameStop make sense.
I just turned into a giant boomer right now because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
No,
I mean, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense.
it's very
TikTok.
stupid.
I don't get it.
It's very stupid. But
I get Bitcoin.
well, here's the thing: is like, here's the way I made sense of it. Right? You could have a Cal Ripken rookie card, but you could Google that image. So why does the card matter?
Because you own it.
Yeah, really. So if the
It's
GIF
in
is
your
out there,
possession.
But then the same thing applies. It's not that the GIF isn't out there; it's the GIF is tied to this non-fungible token.
you're saying GIF, I'm saying GIF. Do we need to do this again?
I don't care what the creator says. GIF is stupid. GIF.
It's GIF.
It's definitely GIF.
No, it's not.
It is.
Not by the creator.
I don't care what that.
Whatever.
person
Once you
says.
make art, it's the audience's job to interpret it, Randy.
I disagree.
Why don't you talk to the theater person here, okay? It's once you put the art in the world, it's not that way.
The thespian.
thespian.
So yeah, but I mean, I think it's stupid too, but I mean, it's bonkers.
But you can copy the image. That
well,
defeats
I mean,
the whole purpose.
You can't copy it. I mean, you can find those highlights, but like, it's you know what I mean? Like, you could find a picture.
But it doesn't have a monetary value attached to it.
Well, it does
Okay.
because you can go on the exchange and sell
But
them.
it just the image doesn't.
Right. But just like you can look up what baseball cards look like. You can look up what these things might look like, but it's not the exact same thing.
Can you use these cards to buy a shoulder-mounted missile launcher on the dark web?
Well, you can convert them to Ethereum, so I guess so.
Ethereum, okay.
That's but there's different ways to transact. But long story short is the initial $15 I spent was immediately increased by a factor of 20 on two different. I bought a $15 pack, sold the contents to buy a $200 pack, and then got more stuff.
And there's only X amount of them made, so the prices are probably just going to go up and up and up like gold.
Assuming it doesn't just crash as a market of total speculation. Yes.
But you're still only $15 in, really, honestly.
Well, yes, if I had stopped there. So I'm speculating now.
Diamond hands.
I'm speculating now. I'm addicted. Well, hey, my GameStop's turned around too. It was up to 350 day, now it crashed down to 190, and it's back up again to 250.
It's at $250?
Yeah.
GameStop?
Yeah.
Wow.
Per share?
The apes did it.
Apes aren't done. Apes strong together.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's my real theory. Here's my dumb theory on why these things will keep happening is that there's still another stimmy bucks coming out. Everyone's going to get their stimulus, and they're going to do dumb things with it. And this is the perfect dumb venture to get into.
Okay.
Alrighty.
There you go.
Sounds smart.
Yeah.
It's not smart. It's very dumb, but it might work. Think about. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm sure that in like the 1960s, people were looking at their kids carrying out baseball cards, being like, "Those are just like printed out pictures. What does it matter?" Like the newspaper.
you're right.
The
You're
newspaper
right.
has these too.
And everything is digital, and the blockchain is making all this possible.
Right. Well, and I think it's more exciting not for this, but for what the next move is. It's like what if you're playing your Marvel superheroes game and like the Captain America's shield, there's like 9 of them in the whole game and they're blockchain protected and you're trying to like, you buy them for real money.
Yeah.
Or Infinity Stones or whatever.
Oh, the Infinity Stones, they transcend blockchain.
Well, not.
There's a new blockchain stone that can
blockchain.
hack the blockchain.
Okay.
Welcome to the new version of our podcast, Nerd Talk.
It's called Sherri Can Leave.
Would you guys like the room to yourselves?
She's bored. She bored. So at any rate, that's what I've been fiddling around with. And Sherri is always right. Were we wrong about Randy?
Randy, have you learned nothing? How long have you been married to
24 years.
the long-suffering Mrs. Goldberg?
Why don't you explain?
Goldberg?
She made me more Jewish somehow.
Oh no.
Mrs. Goldstein.
He's so
I'm sorry.
He's such a stereotype now.
Do you want to do your taxes? Why don't you explain the situation?
Explain it.
So Randy has clearly learned not to argue with a woman who knows what she's talking about in his entire life. And he tried to correct me on several different points about the accident that happened the last time that we discussed at 97 at the Jiffy Mart. He tried to tell me there was no curb that led to the lake off of Magna Way. And he also tried to tell me that there was no guardrail protecting cars from the lake.
He tried. He did tell you. It may not have
I
been
didn't
true.
try to tell you.
No,
I told you.
Yeah, he told me.
But
He's wrong on both accounts.
oh no.
Both accounts. He actually tried to gaslight me and make me think that I didn't know what I was talking about, when in fact I
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, why would you ask that?
I don't gaslight. I'm just wondering if you're feeling okay. That's all.
You just seem emotional right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Randy.
All right. So you want an apology from me?
Abuser Randy. Come
I
on.
don't need an apology. I just need an admission that you were wrong and I was right.
Well, I'm very, very sorry.
No, I don't want you to be sorry.
But I am. I'm sorry that you were wrong again. This is a surprise, Judge Dennis, because I would like to present on the big screen
Wait, what is happening?
Exhibit A. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, that looks like a lot like a guardrail.
Almost looks like a guardrail, pro forma, maybe just to satisfy some kind of standard. But you'll notice this is the quote-unquote guardrail. Was it 15 feet, maybe? You got. I'll post the picture in the comments for everybody. So this is the whole freaking lake right here.
Yeah,
This is the
can see
guardrail.
I can see the drainage.
There's nothing in between this guardrail and this little fence gate right here.
That's not where the accident took place.
Isn't that exactly where the accident took place? In that corner?
No, the accident took place out on Magna Way where there is a curb
Here?
that you have to jump up over, yes.
Here? Okay, that's fine. What I had asserted last show was...
No, you did not assert that there was a guardrail over there. You
No, I
absolutely
didn't.
did not.
I did not assert there was a guardrail over there. You're right. What I said was someone coming out of the Dairy Queen, once they get their blizzard, if they're not paying attention, could go bloop right into the water, and they could. Because this little piece of wood right here that I could ride my bike through...
You asserted that there was no guardrail, when in fact there is a guardrail, clearly, right there.
Is it a guardrail, though?
Do we have the audio clip?
Oh, yes, of course we do. But let's say you're in line with the Dairy Queen, right?
The DQ.
And you get a blizzard and they hold it upside down for you and they show you, they do that thing where they hold it upside down to show you how thick it is.
The dumbest
They
gimmick.
give it to you. You start drifting away and you're like talking to your kids. Hey, wasn't that cool when she was holding the thing upside down? You're drifting and drifting. Boom, you're dead. You're in the pond. You're gone.
There's a guardrail.
There's no guardrail.
There absolutely is a guardrail.
There is not a guardrail between Dairy Queen and the pond. There's a guardrail on the other side.
I literally live...
Well, then it's very... So we're going to... All right.
Whether there's a guardrail or not,
Order in the court. Order in the court, okay? Counsel, you didn't present any evidence or discovery ahead of time, so how is the prosecutor supposed to rebut this information? We're going to need a clip of what you said, and then I'm going to need a whole Google Earth thing about what angle we're at here.
And then I'm going to dismiss the case.
I honestly...
I'm going to call an injunction.
I have no idea what you said specifically, and since we're getting into such semantics, I mean, that is a thing, but I thought Sherri basically said there was no guardrail to protect that accident, which is she's correct about.
What?
There's no guardrail to protect against the accident that actually happened.
I didn't argue that.
Isn't that what she said?
No.
No, I said that.
I said there was a guardrail
Uh-huh.
right there between the Dairy Queen and the lake, which in
Dairy-
fact you can see
Dairy Queen's
clearly
way
on the
back
screen
here.
right now.
There's no guardrail there.
And I also said there was a curb that whomever jumped the curb.
Yeah.
And Randy said, oh, no, there's no curb there because I take my daughter driving and I know what I'm talking about. And there's absolutely a curb from Magna Way that you would have to jump in order to land in said pond.
I'd like to cross-examine the witness.
But you
You know what? You're still wrong, Randy. You're still wrong because there is a guardrail and there is a curb, which you asserted there was neither one of those things.
We will go back.
I
to the
didn't
tape.
discuss the length of the guardrail. I just
Oh.
discussed its existence. It is there.
But I said somebody could get their Dairy Queen treat,
I
not
said
pay
there was
attention, and go, is that true? Yes or no?
You know what? I don't listen to this stupid fucking podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Randy's wrong.
So actually, this is really what a judge does normally. Is the judge lets the jury decide.
Well, there's no jury. This is a civil case.
You can have juries in civil cases. You can elect not to have juries.
I'd like to adjudicate.
Well, you would because you're not. That means
I'm
you
just
get to
throwing
decide.
legal terms out.
I understand.
I don't know what it is.
I do not. There's no way I remember exactly what you guys said. So I got
Well,
no
I guess,
freaking clue.
I guess you got to throw the case out. Wait, it's my case though.
There's a guardrail on the side of the road opposite a Dairy Queen. True or false?
True.
True.
It's
Whether or not
disjointed, you could still go from Dairy Queen easily into the water.
Yeah, but I mean, fundamentally, there is a guardrail. It just may not be a very big one.
I'm going to get a team of civil engineers out there.
Just play the freaking clip.
Oh,
Play the clip.
I already did by now.
I have no idea what you did.
I can't play it
that's
right
all
this second.
editing magic.
Yes.
Wow. Judge Dennis, no decision. Hung jury. Okay. Sherri corrects Randy.
Dirty pool.
Randy. So
Goldstein.
Sherri did
Goldberg, whatever the fuck your name is.
Randy did not allow himself to be corrected. He added more evidence to the docket. This is called.
He just made himself a bigger asshole is all he did.
I think this is called digging a ditch, right?
You have no idea the levels I will go.
I think this is digging a bigger ditch.
What happened with Dr. Seuss's book?
All right, so as we all know, Dr. Seuss got canceled because
did
they
not.
canceled themselves over
No.
6 books that nobody ever heard of in the first place.
Dr. Seuss's trust and estate decided to stop publishing books they felt like did not live up to their standards.
Right.
So nobody canceled them.
Nobody heard of the books in the first place anyway.
They were very obscure because they weren't that great, and they had those things that were probably a little. I can just imagine looking at that book, not knowing it was in there, and being a little bit uncomfortable and like smashing through that page really fast with my kid, being like, let's not get into like bad depictions of people in the 1950s or 60s, whenever the books were made.
Well, one of the books was called "And to Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street." Mm-hmm. Somebody in the Maryland Buy, Sell, or Trade public group is selling one for a minimum offer of $2,000,
Ridiculous.
claiming that this person signed it for somebody named Lauren. Who
Dr. Seuss signed it.
Dr. Seuss signed it, yes, himself. Signed it with a red Sharpie because those were widely available in the 30s and 40s. And she's trying to sell it for $2,000. Now, of course, all of the comments are, this is fake. This is the worst forgery I've ever seen. I'll offer you $20. But one guy, one shining star,
I love this guy.
offered to ejaculate into the book for
What?
free.
That'll up its value.
What will it do to the value? We need an appraiser.
I guess it depends on who he is.
And someone asked for a certificate of authenticity. This reminds me, did I ever tell you that I have a very famous guitar pick?
No.
Did I tell you guys this?
This is the pick of destiny?
And no one will ever believe me. You probably won't believe me. I'm just cursed with it. It's a legit guitar pick that belonged to Jimmy Page.
Well, how do you go about proving that?
I guess I can't. But the story is, I was in the Hard Rock Cafe in New York City, and his famous double neck Gibson guitar was up there, and there was a yellow pick that was sort of strung through the neck of it through the strings. And it was clearly used. It was all worn out. And I leaned up against the wall, and the thing fell out of the guitar on my head. And I took it and put it in my pocket and left.
Randy has stolen property.
I don't know. You should talk to some guitar experts.
Statute of limitations. This was 1989.
And it fell on his head. What's he supposed to do? It basically pooped on him.
It was a stairway to heaven. It fell down the stairway of heaven to me. And I have it. I have it in a little jar. There's no way I can ever prove it unless I
who
can do a
knows?
DNA test on it, but it's got my DNA on it.
I mean, did you ejaculate on it?
Maybe this guy will offer to ejaculate on my pick for me for free.
Yeah. That guy's a real hero.
Yeah, he is.
Offering services like that.
That is. What's the Uber for what? What would that be the Uber for?
Oh my
For
God.
appraisers.
Why would you say I'll ejaculate into that book for free?
I mean, I think
Why?
he was just saying it was worthless. I'm just trying to think of a Dr. Seuss rhyme about signing books, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me laugh. But that was interesting. I don't know. This one's highlighted for me. Turf fields. Turf fields. We're really back on turf fields.
Oh, I
Carroll
think
County Times.
we gotta play the clip, right?
Yeah, the clip is coming.
What are you going to give up? You give up North Carroll artificial field that's so goddamn important to people? No. So
The guy in the Carroll County Times had an editorial that they're a necessity in Carroll County.
he says that people should play on them. Well, guess what? No one should be starving and everyone should have health care and a million other things. How are you going to pay for it?
Okay, so you're saying that the turf fields are bougie.
I'm not even saying they're bougie. I'm
They're
just saying
unnecessary
I just
in the big picture.
my opinion of turf fields is that athletes get hurt on them too. Right? I mean, people blow out their legs on the turf fields too. Like, I don't understand. It seems like it's basically
Rocks, easier to care for, maintenance.
I mean,
Howard County.
Here's my opinion. Believe in the free market. Have every high school fundraise for their own goddamn turf fields.
Goddamn turf.
Have them fundraise if it's so freaking important.
There was a famous realtor that offered to put one in a high school. You know that story? Or did you tell me that story?
You told me that story.
But he wanted to have his logo on the end zones, and they told him forget it. Otherwise, he would have done it.
I mean, look, it's a perfect thing to rally a bunch of people around because it's much sexier than getting new books or giving teachers 50 cents an hour better raise or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Perfect thing for every school to do. It's still going to be unfair because the have-not schools will not benefit as much as the have schools. But, I mean, where is it coming in the budget? Where is this happening? I mean, it's great to say it should happen, but, like, I don't know. I've never really... And I'm like, I mean, all of us are way out of the sports game. I don't know. Did any of your kids ever complain about the quality of the fields at Westminster High?
No, I did. Because my kid played football for the Wildcats, and we went to all these different counties, Hartford County and Howard County, and Carroll County was the embarrassment of all of them.
The fields.
Yeah, the fields. Especially down there in Obrecht Road, the Freedom area.
Yeah.
Those fields, awful. I mean, big chunky rocks right in the middle of the field.
Well, it sounds like they probably just need to take care of their fields better, too. I mean, you spend $1 million on a turf field, like, who's to say anyone's going to keep them up? It's not just a one-time thing.
You got to mow them.
Well,
I mean,
you got to put rubber pellets on them or whatever.
If you're mowing, how do you have rocks?
I'm making a joke about turf fields.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
have to mow 'em. Yeah.
She's still mad about the guardrail, quote unquote, the railroad tie.
Okay, Randy.
I'm going to drive my car right through that into the lake to prove to you.
Will you please?
If you Facebook Live,
Will you please drive your car
Just like Evel
into a
Knievel.
pond? That would be amazing.
If he Evel Knievel's bonsai, he like buys a beater car, puts on like a helmet, and he just like sets up like a straight line thing and just like guns it into the lake. I mean, that would be a commitment.
I'll add a
to the
Houdini
cause.
element to it. You can put me in a straitjacket with a lock that I've got to guess the combination to get out or I drown.
And if you survive, you get a massage.
I'd rather drown. You'll find my body in the bottom, and don't massage my dead, bloated, wet body.
You make it sound so appealing. That's our itinerary for the day. I feel like we got to get Sherri out of here before she throttles you. So let's do our top 10.
Good radio.
It's great radio.
The broadcast really comes out that way.
Sherri talking, it is a broadcast now.
No.
If I just had that on Women's Day.
That is
Just
a
no.
tough stereotype.
No. Just no.
By the way, is comedy coming back to Birdie's?
Yes, actually it is.
Oh,
On the 26th of March. Comedy is coming back, and you are still banned. So I'm sorry.
I will send a proxy. I'm going to write jokes and send a proxy to perform them
They will not
as me.
be allowed to speak for you either. You are banned.
You won't know who it is.
Uh-huh.
It'll be a surprise.
All right, so you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the top 10 things canceled by Carroll County cancel culture.
And while we're talking about cancel culture, there we go.
Okay. Number 10, Dennis's Uber sex app.
Ugh.
Canceled.
Prudes.
Canceled for not adhering to COVID protocol. So
No.
You can't have a threesome with social distancing and
You
masks.
can't.
If you're in the same household.
It can't be done. It just can't be done.
What if they provide emotional distance?
Well, that's.
I think that's why you pay for it.
I think that's why you. Yeah, I think that's why
That's
you.
for everybody.
That's-
yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's-
inferred.
Yeah. Of
Okay.
course.
Number 9, Glory Days in Eldersburg. Canceled because Bruce Springsteen got a DWI. So no more Glory Days.
They'll pass you by.
Yes, they will. Number 8, grass clippings. Canceled because they are racist against motorcycles.
Racism is rampant.
Yeah, it's true.
Number 7, Trash Panda. Canceled.
Pick a reason.
Because bats have rights too. You
Stupid bats.
I mean, just the language he uses is very outdated for the times.
Number 6, vegetables and massages are canceled because they have both touched Randy inappropriately.
Yes. Thank God.
Number 5, Taneytown is canceled
What?
for cultural appropriation. Yeah, it's bad.
They did it to themselves.
They did. Number 4, GQ is canceled. Despite writing a series of critically acclaimed YA novels that turned into an empire, it turns out he does not support the trans community. So he's canceled.
Although I have news on that real quick, not to interrupt you, but somebody
And yet you are.
did talk about how he blocked me, by the way, which is very smart of him. But somebody was talking about how they had screenshots of him hitting on some woman and then asking her if she had any crack because he wanted to do crack with her.
Oh.
And of course she said no, and he called her a bitch.
Hey, he's just practicing his negging.
A gentleman of the highest nobility.
Number 3, Headmasters in Sykesville is canceled for false advertising.
Indeed.
Turns out they're not headmasters.
Nope. Hair cutters is what they are.
Damn.
Number 2, The Country Stripper, canceled for being a terrible place to have a bachelor party.
Yeah,
The
it just
worst.
really doesn't pop like you would think a place like that does.
It's unfortunate,
You'll
but
get
it's
wood,
true.
though.
A lot of wood.
And also some furniture.
Yeah. Depends what you're into. Like a rich mahogany.
And the number 1 thing canceled by Carroll County cancel culture is the Carroll Worldwide podcast.
Us?
Canceled because those people are fucking assholes that just come for everyone.
At least in a book.
Oh boy.
Get it?
It just wasn't that funny. Is that everything? I'm gonna usher Sherri out of here fast. It's like ready to be Jerry Springer.
Yeah, don't leave me
here.
alone with Randy.
To protect me.
I'm gotta be Steve from Jerry Springer right now. All right, I'm Dennis. I'm not Steve.
I'm Randy.
I'm Sherri. Happy birthday, Dennis.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you. I am still the baby of the family. So see you
You're
all
the
later.
baby of the podcast, too.
Baby podcast. See ya.